Hello everybody, and and welcome back to Shy, episode 15, or season 2, episode 3, I believe, depends how we count it. In which we will probably learn more about Ai Tennouji, our resident ninja, shinobi. Is there a difference? Ninja, I think that's like her proper title that she used. I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, in the previous episode, before we met her, or was it Ai Tennouji? I see like a couple of people named Tennouji here, so I don't know. Whatever. In the previous episode, in any case, we. Oh, right. Or not? Yeah, she's like from a family of ninjas, so probably like a sister or a mother or something like that. I don't know. Regardless, in the first half of the previous episode, we got a nice little bit of slice of lifey stuff, but this, the kind of a slice of life episode that airs around summer or around Halloween, right? The test of courage, you know what I mean? This sort of a deal. Because it was still very much slice of lifey, but also still very much a little bit of horror here, right? We met, or by we I mean Teru. Teru met a girl in a library, a girl who's a member of the literature club, or so she claims, the sole and only member of it to boot. And she's kind of overbearing a little bit, to the point where Teru wanted to move out, get out of there, but she didn't, because she's a good girl. And the girl at the library, Benny, yeah, I think that's Benny Hanawa, needed help. She needed help looking for a book of bloody book of blood, something like that. That's what she called it. Immediately, of course, Chuni. She has an eye patch. She, feels her eye hurting, and even though it's just a storm, and she's very much afraid of the thunder. And she, of course, had to find a bloody Bible, essentially. In which Teru gladly helped, because she loves scary stories like that. They do find that book, and it turns out that the book is, not so much of a book as it is a magazine that's released by the Literature Club every year. And every year one piece of it, like a single book, single magazine, or is it like the only copy? I don't know. One copy in general, be it one of many or one of one, is hidden somewhere, and it's down to the next year's literature club to find it. Very nice. Very nice. Whatchamacallit? Fuck. I'm missing words today. Very nice tradition. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, very nice tradition. They find the book. It turns out to just be, a normal book, nothing super magical about it. Teru is happy. Benny is happy. They get out, and turns out Benny is not there. Teru meets up with what's her face? With Iko, of course. And she hears that, the literature club has no members. Ooh, spooky. Benny, of course, said beforehand that, if she finds the book, that will allow her to die peacefully and whatnot. So, of course, well, shit, she's a ghost. Of course, obviously, she also told a story about the mysteries of the school and the girl that vanished from the school grounds. Well, of course, that's her, right? Everything makes sense. It's a ghost. And then Teru just meets her the next day at school, and turns out that, yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot that the literature club got rolled into the newspaper club, and yeah, it doesn't really exist. I'm a member of the newspaper club, but I just kind of forgot. So a nice like double misdirection here. That was fun. And in the second half, Teru and Iko go on a date and meet a girl. Yeah, I think it's Ai Tennouji. Tennouji. They meet. They meet a girl who's weird, kinda, who arrived here from somewhere, who escaped from home, ran away from home, as she claims, who has that air of a sheltered Ojo-sama around her a little bit, right? She doesn't know what karaoke is. She doesn't know what an arcade is. She doesn't know the joys of Tokyo, of a big city. So of course Teru and Iko gladly introduce her to them, and they have some very nice time together, having fun, going to karaoke, going to an arcade, eating some crepes or something, and you know, other stuff that they would do with a new friend, of course. Then she reveals that she knows how to sword. She stops a purse snatcher, saving Teru the necessity to henshin, unknowingly, I think. And as it turns out, she's not just any regular sheltered dojo-sama, but rather she's a daughter of a ninja family with a long-standing tradition from some village in the mountains. That's why she's so sheltered, and she's on a run. And who is after her? Tokimaru. Yeah, one Tokimaru, a male ninja. At first glance, I mean, it hasn't been confirmed, could very well be a girl, is after her. And that's basically where it ends, right? Teru and Iko laugh at the prospect of their new friend possibly being a ninja. I mean, ninjas, what is it? A comic book? A manga? Don't be ridiculous. Now, superheroes, now that's a real thing, though. And it turns out that, yes, ninjas, actually. Ninjas are real, and their newly met friend is one such ninja on the run from other ninjas, because she's probably like a, I don't know, the last remaining scion of the family, or you know how it is. Similar stories are aplenty. And the episode cuts off where where Mai has to face Tokimaru, and it's like, no, I'm not gonna go back, done ending. So in today's episode, we're probably gonna see the, maybe not necessarily fight with Tokimaru, but, you know, talking to Tokimaru, maybe trying to figure out some other way, right? Like, okay, let me stay here for a week at least, then I'm gonna go back, or, you know, something like that probably. Or perhaps there's going to be some external influence that will stop Mai from leaving, maybe, I don't know. I mean, the obvious thing is Amalareik attacks and something happens. I don't know. Mai recognizes that one of the members of Amalareik is who killed her mother, and Tokimaru also knows that, so they join forces to chase after Amalareik, or maybe Amalareik kidnaps Tokimaru, and something like that, maybe. I don't know. They either talk it out, or there's some sort of an external impact that changes, you know, the flow of events, so to speak. Right. Yeah, I think that does it for the previous episode. That does it for the intro. Kind of long in the first place, 9 minutes. So how about I just stop talking and we start watching, right? How's that sound? To do it, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want to monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 15 of Shy in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, I believe this season is called something like Tokyo something arc, right? Tokyo Dakkan-hen. I think the translation is something along the lines of like Tokyo capture, Tokyo barrier. That's the vibe I'm getting just from memory alone. I can't tell you the exact translation, but I think it's something along those lines. So maybe that's what's gonna happen, right? Mai is not gonna be able to leave because Tokyo has been surrounded by a barrier made by Amalareik probably, because who else, right? I don't know. We'll see. Also, you probably noticed that this episode is late. Sorry for that. I had some stuff to do earlier, and yesterday I wanted to record, but I was in absolutely no shape to do so. So, better late than never, as they say, right? Yeah, they're teasing Teru's sister, Shinobi. Yeah, okay. Teru's sister, mother, I think sister. Plenty. Yes, ninja da indeed. Damn! Well, it might just be a wooden sword, but she's quite skilled with it. Yeah, I don't mind him. Yeah, I mean, he's a ninja. He probably has, like, I don't know, a grappling hook or ninja foam technique or something like that. Hard blade. Hard, so commonly associated with Shy and Teru. Blade, that would be her domain. Yeah, she seems very tired. Really? Is that why you ran away? Because they expected way too much out of you? And she faints. I mean, you just witnessed what it's all about, so. Oh, they've been involved with worse. Okay. Tokimaru? Tokimaru. To be expected. Okay, so a guy after all. Yeah, so she is a princess. Gotcha. Confirmed. So yeah, I mean, she basically is a sheltered dojo-sama, no any way you spin it. Okay, she's Ai, not Mai. Mai is, I assume, like a sister or a mother. Of course, the family wants to keep her sheltered. It makes for an epic scenery. That's why. Also, notice, second time that Teru was about to hard shift but didn't. When she eventually does, it's gonna be a big deal, isn't it? I mean, makes sense. That's called sheltering someone. Semantics, really. So kind of like heroes. But now it's the job of the heroes, right? And so your role has diminished. Like proto-heroes, essentially. Yeah, right. You have to protect something you have no idea about, essentially. Okay, so, I mean, you're welcome to hang out with us then. Right. Oh, so it's not just a wooden sword, it actually can be unsheathed. Hardblade. Okay, so that explains the title of the episode. You want one, Teru? Hmm? Did you find a weapon of choice, perhaps? Okay. Teru has experience with heart matters. So a heart blade would very much fit her, wouldn't it? Well, the jig is up. Teru is a hero. That sounds like social media stalking. That's a surprising amount of information. Hmm. Just putting it all out in the open. Okay. So you can speak to swords, essentially. Oh? I mean, sure. That's one way to reveal it. But yeah, absolutely. Revealed through a sword told me. Amalareik, someone probably. Or some new threat, yeah. Being train the hero of Japan to use a sword? Or there are stitch marks even. Gotcha. In this body? What do you mean in this body? Are you a skinwalker? You could say that, yeah. Oh, is she like gonna find her counterpart, kind of sorta, like Pepesha and Svieta? And when she defeats her Amalareik counterpart, her body is magically healed, something like that. Wouldn't surprise me. With Teru, her home's plenty big. Iko might get jealous, but, you know. Right, you help people, don't you? Just so happens I'm in need of help. Bold, aren't we? I mean, apparently. You're not gonna protest, so yeah. Ai Tennouji. Right, she does have her own stuff to do at home, so she can't exactly join them. Right, it's a girls only party. Cannibalism? Watching ads about pizza with shrimp, being a shrimp yourself. How'd you know that? Oh, okay. I mean, that's a very useful plot device. No showering together to save water. No, like, it's tradition at my village to shower together or something like that. Yeah, and you're a little bit too much of a doormat to say no. Yeah. I knew something like that's gonna happen. Gay panic, my dear. Gay panic. With shrimp? That being... of course! The biggest obstacle. That's why I love apps that you can just order whatever through an app. Let I order. Or Shrimpy. What even is mentaiko? Yeah. Already wrapped her hair with the ribbon thing. Of course she can cook. What are we having? Potato in some form? Okay, how fucking 5-course meal. I mean, that works. I guess you can do wonders with just some potatoes. It's interesting how ubiquitous around the world is the exact same type of sponge for washing dishes, with the exact same yellow on one end and the exact same dark green on the other end. No, knives are tools. Exactly. True, yeah. You are the one who gives it purpose. Are you not gonna finish? Or did you finish already? Oh. Here, take out. He has a duty, so, I mean, you gotta understand it. Whomst? Iko? Iko. Predictable. We're having a sleepover. Yes. How did I know that? Okay. How old is he anyway? Is he even old enough to be left alone at home? Is it your first sleepover, perchance? Friends, nakama. Yeah, you've suddenly grown much more powerful because you can always call upon the power of the nakama. That's a big power boost. That's why you had issues, fighting. That's why you were getting tired easily, right? And now you can very easily get a second wind. Game of Life, what was that? Backgammon or checkers? I think checkers. Backgammon boards are usually brown, not green. Then again, checkerboard is not usually green either, so probably backgammon. Okay, I see one bed and one futon. What's the sleeping arrangement? Oh? Okay, I mean, that makes things easy. We have a common goal. We have a common enemy. While mentioning the Dark Heart, I'm assuming that would be the girl who looks like her, the other Tennouji. Yep, seems to be the case. The other me. Interesting. So, not family? That's some screams of the damned, alright. Okay, what's your deal? Or maybe a sister after all. So she's not a member of Amalareik? Utsuro. Interesting. So she can notice how it is actually. She can call out Stigma's bullshit. Interesting. And that is Tokyo Tower, I think. New moon? Oh, that's cool. The night will fall asleep. What the fuck do you mean by that, Stigma? Huh. Okay. So I think I think we are going to be generally following the similar story beats for some time at least, right? We meet a character. The character has a counterpart at Amalareik. We defeat their counterpart. They make peace. They grow as people. Slice of life, slice of life, slice of life. Another character has a counterpart at Amalareik, right? Not necessarily a monster of the week kind of thing, but rather like a monster of the arc, something like that. Yeah, that's Ai and Tokimaru. Could it be a straight couple in this show? Maybe. Wouldn't be the first time this show surprised me. Okay, let's watch it again, shall we? But before we do, and before I forget, I got a note down that I really think that Tokimaru is just gonna fucking sacrifice himself. Tokimaru sacrifices himself for Ai. Yeah, and I think Ai and her evil twin, whoever the fuck she is, something tells me that as opposed to Pepesha and Svieta, where Svieta just went away and that gave Pepesha closure, this will be more like the two of them kind of merging. Maybe that's what's missing from Ai's heart, right? That one bit that got ripped out and darkened, right? Something like that. I'm reminded of what was that movie? The Last Dragon, I think. The movie with the CG dragon that rips out half of its heart and gives it to a guy to save his life, and they just kind of become one. And right, maybe something like that. I needs to merge with her doppelganger to be whole again. doppelganger is made of what was ripped out of Ai's heart. Something like that. Maybe literally, maybe figuratively. We'll see that. We know that all sorts of weird shit can happen, right? Like age reversal of Pepesha's mother and turning her into right, like all sorts of weird stuff. Regardless, let's continue. OP. No, I'm gonna move my mouse. Hardblade. From this title, I really thought that they're setting up Teru somehow getting her own sword. Right? Like Hardblade, Teru, heart. She's the hero of the heart, right? And just like Teru got some additional powers from her short stay in the calligraphy club, right? She learned how to control her fire. Then maybe her spending some time with Ai, maybe getting some training montage, right? Stuff like that. Maybe that would allow Teru to, I don't know, maybe literally pull a blade of energy out of her chest, or something like that, or would allow her to grab Ai's katana and use it, or something like that, maybe. But no, Hardblade seems to be the name of Ai's weapon. Yeah, she's getting tired very easily because of her heart condition thing. Yeah, again, Teru was on the verge of hard shifting, but didn't. And I really thought that they're creating so many of those situations, and that would cause when Teru finally shifts, when Teru finally henshins, and when Ai finally notices it, that's gonna be a big thing, right? Like, we're gonna take like 1-2 more episodes maybe of Teru keeping it a secret. Maybe having Ai stay at her place, maybe teach her some sword fighting just as a pastime, stuff like that. And then there's a big reveal that Teru is the hero of Japan, and Ai says, "Oh, I really wish it wasn't you, because now I have to kill you," or something like that, right? Teru finally having to henshin being a big reveal because they've been preventing that for so long. But apparently the reveal is kind of anticlimactic. I'm not gonna lie. Village's princess, yeah, I mean, that was predictable. And they have a sense of a little bit of grandiose, don't they? Arguing at the top of a torii gate by a shrine, with sunset behind them. Why did you run away from her? Oh, yeah, because she was being sheltered. She wanted to see the world that she is bound to protect, right? Everybody's telling her, well, we are here to save the world, we are here to protect the world, prevent wars in the world. And she's like, what the fuck even is the world? I've only seen the village. I don't even know what I'm protecting. So I want to go out there and I want to see the world, right? I want to, know the things that I'm supposed to protect, which makes perfect sense, honestly. It really makes perfect sense, and it's kind of weird from just my perspective that the village doesn't practice something like a I don't know, few year long journey, right? You reach the age of majority or something, or you pass the shinobi exams or whatever, and they send you to travel Japan for like 5 years to learn what you're going to be protecting, to teach yourself, to learn from all sorts of people and cultures and stuff like that, and come back to the village enriched for that and with a new resolve, because you grew to love the world. You also grew to know the bad things about the world, right? and you are ready to actually protect it. From my perspective, it's weird that it's not the case. But at the same time, I can very much understand that it's Japan, and things like that are pretty, stagnated for the most part. And it's not actually that weird that there is a village in Japan that doesn't want to go get on with the times, that they seclude themselves, and they're like, no, the world we have is actually fine, right? We live as we lived during the May period or whatever, and that's fine. So it makes sense, and it makes sense for her to want to get out, of course. Yeah, given their lives for the sake of the world. Teru noticed correctly the similarity to heroes. I wonder if it's something like a proto-heroes, essentially, right? A group of people who worked to keep peace in Japan before heroes were a thing. Do we know when exactly heroes became a thing? I'm not sure we do. But yeah, it seems to me like the shinobi were the protectors of the world before heroes came to be, however, wherever, whenever they did. And actually makes me wonder if they could go back to how it was, right? It would be the logical thing to do here for Teru, for example, or maybe even Unilord or whoever, or maybe Ai, to propose that, Japan has a hero now, but she could use some help. And as shinobi, instead of secluding ourselves in the village, we could go out there and we could help people where the hero of Japan cannot, or can't get there fast enough, can't know about it, right? We can be the Robins to her Batman, basically, right? Stuff like that. I wonder if that's going to be the conclusion here. Would be really fucking cool if it was, but we don't know just how much is the shinobi world stagnating, right? Shinobi start helping Teru, they become an army of Robins to her Batman instead of secluding themselves. Would be a nice conclusion to the whole shinobi thing. We're living in secret away from both the world and people. Yeah, it is strange. It really is strange, right? You're supposed to be helping people, but you live separate from the people. How can you protect something you're separate from? Yeah, I really thought it was a wooden blade as well, but of course there's a proper blade hidden within, and I think I even have it noted somewhere. Ai has a real sword in her bag as well. Not necessarily in her bag, but rather it's a sword within a sword, but close enough. Teru seems fascinated by this sword, which really tells me that she will actually get one. I mean, we've seen it in the promo art, which I guess is kind of a spoiler, but I mean, it's promo art, you can't really avoid seeing it. Shinobi is blade and heart, and again, pushing the heart here, that we know is Teru's actual element. She's not fire. I mean, kinda, sorta. She's the heart. And the fact that she uses fire is because it's a burning heart ignited by a burning desire, right? Basically. You also read the heart of your blade and control it. Something that Teru should be able to do perfectly well. with enough training and some confidence boosting. Even if I lack the strength, if I give my heart to my blade, I can fight. And it actually kinda stands in opposition to her doppelganger that I'm gonna assume is Mai, though Stigma finds a different name for her. Then again, he also found a different name for Tsvieta than her actual name, right? That's a difference, because I here seems, for the lack of a better term, like full of heart, giving the heart to the sword, right? Injecting it, feeling it with her heart. Meanwhile, we have her doppelganger being like, no, everything is empty. I'm just an empty puppet. My sword is empty. This world is empty. There's nothing in it, right? That's an interesting difference there. Reads their hearts, and yeah, she knows a lot of details. This power belongs only to me. You know how they say objects gain a heart over time? Right, it's called... what? It was a plot point in Mysterious Disappearances. Yeah, I forgot the name for it. But yeah, basically when an item is used long enough and caringly enough, it essentially gains sentience and soul and spirit and stuff like that. And her name is Purti. Teru-san's the hero I've been looking for. This is a very... very anticlimactic way to reveal it. I'm gonna be honest. A reveal by "the sword told me" feels kinda cheap. Not gonna lie. It really feels like either the author wrote themselves into a corner here, which I don't think is the case, because there's plenty of ways to reveal Teru's nature to Ai, or they just wanted to essentially get on with it, right? Let's not wait anymore, let's not keep the charade up, we gotta reveal it. Somehow we gotta reveal it fast. What's the fastest way? Well, okay, sword told her. Sure, write it in, and that's how the reveal goes. It works for the tone of this season so far, right? Everything's been mostly lighthearted, everything's been mostly fun and funny and comedic a little bit, so having this sort of a reveal doesn't clash with the tone so far, but I still see it as cheap, honestly. Makes sense that she would learn it too if her sword can actually read the fact that Teru likes natto and has a sister, right? But still. There's one other reason. Pitch black heart seething somewhere far away. Tsvieta? Probably. Maybe. And the sword told me I have something I need to do. Yeah, that's a scar. It's a scar I got when I was little. Because of it, my heart's grown weak, so it's a bit hard getting around in this body. What could it be? Of course, first assumption immediately is it's not something necessarily physical, right? It's not like she had arrhythmia and she had to get a surgery to fix it or something like that, but rather it's something along the lines of someone reaching into her chest through her body and cartilage and everything, pulling out half of her heart and creating her doppelganger out of it, and she was left there on the ground gasping with a gash in her chest and half a heart, and they somehow fixed it, or something like that. It evokes more something like that than, again, very plain explanation of she had a heart surgery. There's been a shadow upon my heart this whole time. Right, you feel connection to the other you, whoever it is. There's someone out there threatening everyone's peace? Yes, indeed. There are no shinobi villages nearby. Where do you plan on leaving? Yeah, I mean, she got a perfectly good read on Teru. She knew that she's not gonna deny that. She knew that she's gonna agree, and, you know, to the surprise of nobody, she of course agreed. Ai Tennouji, Japanese ninja training she likes. The princess of the Soga ninja village is a ninjutsu expert. 155 centimeters, 40 kilo. Blood type 0 and age 14. Iko has a brother, right? And Shrimpy-san really craving some shrimp. Yeah, I was fully expecting something like that. Right, like, oh, it's a custom in our village to take bath together. Do you want to join me? And of course, shy Teru rather denying because she's Teru. And yeah, making orders through the phone. I always find it stressful as well. Not to this degree. Not to this degree. But I'm always like, you know, sitting there with a menu, with a phone and being like, number 38. 38. Yes, 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 with chicken. Yes. Yeah, no. And it's like, you know, call quality, not the greatest. They might not understand me. I might not understand them. I'd much rather pick up the phone, go to fucking Uber Eats or the restaurant's website or whatever, and just order like that. No miscommunication there. So I can understand to a degree what she's going through here. I'm forced to taste my self-loathing over the fact that I couldn't even order pizza right. And thankfully you have a master chef who can just take some potatoes, some carrots, some tofu, and make fish out of it. What do we have here? We have rice. We have, I'm assuming, miso soup with tofu and something else. It looks like, I don't know, chicken tempura, something, fish, soybeans maybe, or green beans or string beans with some, I think, moon sprouts and something else. And on the left we have some raw veggies, and we have a vegetable stir fry. Yeah, that's where the potatoes, carrot went, also lotus root and pea pods, maybe, green peas, something like that. Yeah, it's really weird for me how completely ubiquitous around the world this type of a dish washing sponge is. It's everywhere. Ever since I was a child, dish sponges looked like this, and they continue looking like this, and presumably they look like this all around the world. Blades are just for hurting people? No, blades are what you make them to be. Essentially, if you use a knife to hurt someone, well, it's a weapon. If you use a knife to save someone, it's also a weapon, but used for good. If you use a knife to cook, then it's a cooking utensil, right? The usage is what gives an item their purpose, really. There is a... can't quite remember what it is exactly, but it's like a someone's law, I believe, that the purpose of a system is what the system does, basically. And it really stands true for anything. If a system has been designed for something and it's used for something else, this is what this system is, right? If you, I don't know, the pen has been designed for writing, right? But I use it to stab someone in the throat. Well, now it becomes a murder weapon, murder tool, or whatever is the classification, right? I cannot argue that, well, it's just a writing utensil. I couldn't have possibly killed anybody with it because it's not the role of it. No, I just did, right? That is the role of it. In Minecraft, just, you know, just a safeguard. there is something going on between them. Some little itty bitty bits and pieces. Can't like fully read it, but you know, there's some potential for maybe a bit of a romance or something. And of course, I mean, she couldn't allow her girlfriend to stay at night with some other woman. She had to at least join. And yeah, have some fun during during just a sleepover, playing Uno, playing cards, playing Game of Life, playing. I've no clue what it is. It's not checkers. It's not chess because it would have, you know, alternating. It would be a checkerboard, basically. But it's just all green. It's not backgammon either. Backgammon has those triangle things. Is it? Oh, it's fuck. What's it called? Reversi? Reversi. I think it might be Reversi. Or could it be Go? No, I think Go also has like markings on the board. I'm not sure. A lot happened today and it was really fun. Maybe that's why. Yeah, we met a new friend, of course. You're part of the team now, whether you like it or not. Game of Life. Yeah, what? Yeah, this looks like Reversi. Yep. With the things that have two sides to them. And interestingly, Ai has the sword on her at all times. It's not laying somewhere on the ground in her bag or whatever, but rather, yeah, it's besides her here. Yeah, still besides her. Well, we don't see it now, but presumably she keeps it at her side. Yeah, you can see just about barely from behind Eco, but the sword is still here. Yeah, I wonder what the sleeping arrangements are here. Oh, I think it's like two futons placed head to head, right? One blue for Eco, one pink for Ai, and Teru gets the bed. Okay, that makes sense. I thought they have just single futon and a single bed. I should tell you the truth. Yeah, she knows about Amalareik. How do you know about Amalareik? The sword told me. Again, not a huge fan of this way of giving character information, but it is what it is. So we're gonna have to learn to live with that. She told me Amalareik's name and the fact that the person I'm looking for is there. Right, so she's not, you know, she's dropping the... Another facade, really. She's been slowly dropping one facade after another. First it was, oh, I'm just a regular girl. Then she dropped that. Oh, I'm just a runaway. She dropped that. I'm actually a shinobi. I'm actually a princess. I'm actually, you know, shinobi princess. I can talk to my sword. And she told me about the big darkness. Oh, I actually know the name of that big darkness, right? Dropping layers and layers of her cover. Essentially, who's this person you're after? Right, good question. The other me. Now, what do you mean by that? It's all empty. It's an illusion, a fleeting dream. Very interesting sword. And she's willing to call out Stigma's bullshit. That's new among Amalareik. Right, like so far, everybody's been basically taking Stigma's words as gospel. And now there's someone who's like, well, you know, end the bullshit, Stigma, it's you again. Well, okay, you're telling me that I can achieve my goals, but I know you're just bullshitting me. I'm just your puppet, so just tell me what the fuck you want and I'm gonna do it. Right, don't try to sugarcoat it. I know what it is. Interesting. And she's named Utsura. Utsura. Connections are nothing more than an illusion. What would prompt you to say so? Perfect place for your dream. That dream being what exactly? Soon the night will fall asleep. What the fuck does it mean, Stigma? And we see this nice picture of Ai and Tokimaru, which really makes me believe that there might be some je ne sais quoi. That's not the correct word of the. That's not the correct use of the word je ne sais quoi, but actually, I think je ne sais quoi means something along the lines of a thing that's unnamed, but it's like an important thing, something like that. I don't know. I don't know French. We don't even get the title of the second of the next episode or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm assuming in the next episode we're gonna meet Utsui. I think so. Utsuro. Yeah, in the next episode we're gonna meet Utsuro, and I don't know, something's gonna happen. We'll see. Ugh. There we go. So, sum it up. It was still very much an introductory episode, right? It introduced us rather to the new character that's joining the team that is also going to be, I'm assuming, fighting alongside us, right? Because we're dealing with Amalareik now, and sure, it's the heroes that deal with Amalareik, but Ai has a personal reason to also get involved, so it's going to be like a joint endeavor, so to speak, and we got to know her more or less fully. I think. I don't think there are many more layers to her that would need to be, peeled off. Entirely possible that there might be something more, right? Like she eventually admits that, well, the scar is actually because they ripped out my heart, and that heart is with my doppelganger, and I have to retrieve it to be whole again, or something like that, maybe. But as far as the immediate needs for understanding her as a person, as a character, I think everything is covered, right? For the moment, she is her true self to our knowledge. So again, this episode was still very much introductory to her backstory. We didn't really get that much of her backstory, right? It's still very much just a princess from a shinobi village who ran away because she needs to chase someone of Amalareik. And that's basically it. We don't know the details of what happened to her. We don't know the details of who exactly it is that she's chasing after, besides the vague "the other me," right? We don't know why she needs to chase after her. We don't know any of that. But we know her immediate goals. And that's enough for an introduction, right? We're gonna learn the details as we go, I think. So yeah, the episode worked as an introduction. It also worked as probably one of the last bits of slice of lifey stuff that we're gonna see, right? Because the ending of this episode promises some more heavy stuff to come. Chances are in the very next episode we're gonna see the other Ai attack. Maybe be repelled, maybe not. Maybe something else is gonna happen. We'll see. But I think that for now, the days of visiting a shopping mall and walking around the park and having fun at an arcade, for now, those are over. Temporarily, of course, because as soon as the issue of the other Ai is resolved, we'll no doubt be back to that. But yeah, I think that's where it's headed. The first half of the next episode still might very well be just, slice of lifey bits. Teru, Ai, and Iko having some fun in the morning, getting some breakfast, having some more fun, watching some TV, or maybe playing some more games, and then shit hits the fan, either in the second half of the next episode or by the end of the next episode. That remains to be seen. And yeah, we're probably going to go for another similar story beat to the story of Pepesza and Svieta, where a character we know, a character who's a member of the main cast, has to deal with their counterpart on the Amalareik side and grow for it, get stronger for it. I don't know, stuff like that. Probably. That's my prediction. We'll see that, of course, next episode. But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos. Not only Shy, but also Wasuyu, that I know I'm behind on, but I'm gonna catch up eventually. Spice and Wolf, Vistoria, this one's great. QA Isekai, Bye Bye Earth, this one's good as well. Isekai Shikaku, and others coming in the future. I also stream sometimes, so you might want to click the bell icon to be notified when I go live, and also be notified when the videos come up. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Wasuyu, and for just $1 you get a roll onto Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through membership, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without the Net, Zerena, Yuki, Alai, Dr. Watfried, Duke Young, Akamancer, Marsh, Fazel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to, I don't know, talk to your sword.